I know. This is how we do. Let's go. Seminole Nation, brand Nolebians here. Fear to spit, we got the new flavor that's in your ear. We dope, raw and gritty, rep from city to city. We the intelligent committee and we bringing that smoke. Sports, entertainment, politics, and lifestyle. Garnet and gold, the colors, we earn our stripes now. Sit back, relax, rock with Doc and Black. When you hear that music bumping, it's time to do something. Let's go, let's go.
Grand Nolebians is coming to you live. Got Andre Cooper, probably one of the most talented wide receivers to come through Florida State between 1993 and 1997. Come on, man. Tell the folks about what you're doing now, Andre.
Oh man, you know, right now I work for this company. When I got out of football, I did insurance for about 15 years, man. It wasn't a lot of fun. So a friend of mine, Sean Cypher, started off this company called Clean the World. And basically this company its mission is to eradicate the #1 and 2 illnesses of children around the world that are basically killing a lot of kids in small countries, underdeveloped countries. The #1 and 2 diseases being diarrheal disease and upper respiratory infection. And the research that we do, we found out that just by giving them soap and teaching them how to wash their hands correctly, that we could drastically reduce that death rate. So to date, the company's been in business for 9 years. We've reduced that rate from 35%. So there was 9,000 kids a day that was dying under the age of 5 from those 2 diseases. And now we've got that number down to about 5,500.
That's worldwide.
That's worldwide. That's worldwide. And so, you know, my job now has a purpose, you know, so I enjoy it. So, yeah, man, that's what I'm into.
That's what I'm talking about. Steve Black, you there?
What's good, baby?
Kurt Black, you got any questions for Drake?
I mean, yeah, man. Let's dive right in, man. What have you seen so far from the Willie Taggart era? As a matter of fact, let me give a better question. Start from the end of the Jimbo Fisher era to what you see right now.
You know, at the end of the Jimbo Fisher era, obviously it wasn't good. I saw more than anything a bunch of just undisciplined type plays, undisciplined type players. I didn't see where anybody was holding them accountable for the mistakes that were being made. I think we're starting to see that now, although the mistakes are almost mirroring each other. It's almost like we have to reprogram a lot of these kids, teach them how to win. Scott and I was talking about that earlier, is that if you've never won, there's a process of going through learning how to win. And I think we're going through that process right now. We saw that last week, you know, you being up against Miami by 20, you know, teams that know how to win those games. So, you know, it can be frustrating. You know, I've been through the gambit of emotions so far this season, from, you know, being upset, being frustrated, to, you know, still trying to remain positive and understand that, hey, this is his first year. He's been in 5 games we played. So just, you know, I believe we have the right coach that can lead us into the future and get us back to winning national championships.
Do you think the administration is going to give him time, considering the elephant in the room? I mean, we looked at the stats earlier this year. I believe there are, you know, at 100 and roughly 29 D1 schools, there's about 12 coaches that are, you know, minorities. You know,
yeah,
black coaches.
Yeah.
So you're talking 10%. So when the population of the players is, you know, probably upwards of 70 plus.
Right.
So his seat was hot the minute he took the job.
Day one.
Yeah. You know, and definitely hotter than his ass was at Oregon, because no disrespect to Oregon, they got great facilities and all that, you know, great mascot, but they don't got
it's not Florida State.
Right. It's not pedigree. So, you know, here we expect him to win and win now. So,
yes.
You know, what you feel about that, man? You think they're gonna give him time?
Listen, anybody who's watched sports, you understand when you have a minority as a coach, it's always gonna be a little hard on them. they're not going to get the type of leeway. They're not going to get the type of rope that, white coaches get. That's just history.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? But in this situation, we talked about what happened with Charlie Strong in Texas. Texas is back in the top 10 now. And everybody's talking about how great Tom Herman is. And he's a great coach. But Charlie Strong came in and he changed the culture there. My man is reaping the benefits of that. Charlie Strong didn't get that extra rope to say, hey, we're going to give him another year or two to turn this around. And honestly, I don't think that Willie Taggart is going to get that either if it doesn't show immediate progress, further down this season going into next season.
Something, Dre, you bring a good point. Because when a lot of coaches go to a program, a la Tennessee, Nebraska, they have some fundamental issues with their program.
Right.
And they've been that way for a period of time. Florida State hadn't had a bad program for a long period of time. Jimbo Fisher left last year.
Yeah.
So you're talking about last year going 7-6, but the previous year we went 10-3.
Right.
That's a good. I heard you talking on the screen before you got here, and you were talking to somebody who was he was interviewing you, and he was asking you a question about the team going in 10-2, and you said that 10-2 is not Florida State.
No, it's not.
We're not happy about 10-2.
No.
But you know what? For some reason, we were happy about that 10-3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, when you win a national championship, it buys you that kind of second thought. I'm gonna give you a little more. Because you think about it, just 5 years ago, 2013, we won that championship. You know what I mean? So you can see the steady erosion. You know what I mean? And when you start saying, 10-3 ain't bad, 9-4 ain't bad, the next thing you know, your ass is 7-6. Right. You 8-5.
Yep.
Man. Like we were talking earlier, I hate when I played, I used to hate when guys came back and said, hey man, in my day we did it this way. And I find myself thinking like that now.
Yeah.
If we lost the game, bro, it's like our season was trash. You know what I mean? And that was just our mentality. It wasn't trash, but we wanted to win them all.
Right.
And nowadays it's okay to lose a game. It's okay to lose 2 games and people make excuses for you. But I think the kids, the players, the coaching staff, they got to hold themselves to their own level of commitment, what they think they should be. And at Florida State, you should be thinking we should win them all.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
I think in your day, you almost had to win them all.
Yes.
Otherwise, because there was no playoff system.
Right.
These guys can lose a game. Matter of fact, they can lose the last game of their regular season and then get put in the playoffs and end up winning it, a la Alabama.
Right. I mean, nowadays, like you said, you win your conference. Hey, well, first you start off, you win your division. Okay. Then you win your conference, you get in your conference championship game. You're in the ACC. If you win that, you're automatically in. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? But it's a little more politics than that. So, but I like it better today, honestly. I like it without the bowl time. When the Big Ten, you got to go to those schools. I never was really big into that. You know what I mean? But I like it now. You try to get the 4 best teams to play. I think if we had this system starting back in the early 90s, that Florida State would win a lot more than 3 national championships.
How many championships would we have?
Man, I would say at least about 5 or 6, easy.
5 or 6?
Yeah, easy.
How many would Bobby have had? About three of them?
He probably had about 4 of them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I believe that, man. Look,
Right.
We lost a lot of championships by losing to Miami on the field goal. Where if you play them again later on in the season, when the talent's that close, you're not going to beat the team twice. It happened to me my season. We beat Florida in '96. Had to turn around and play them in the Sugar Bowl again, and they beat us. It's just the talent level's too close. You're not just going to dominate the team and beat a team twice like that.
Hey, Coop, I don't want to bring this up, man, but we accurate on this show, man. They didn't just beat y'all. They beat shit out of us.
Don't bring up bad memories, bro. That was a rough one, man. Tell you, the best thing about that, though, is that was the last game of my career. And I remember thinking, going into the 4th quarter, man, at least it ain't close and they're going to rip my heart out. At least I can prepare myself for a quarter. Just go out here and leave it all on the line one last time. But, yeah, man, they did take it behind the woodshed. I still remember Ike doing a little move on it. Yeah, it was ugly, man. We still clown Cozy about that to this day.
Oh,
Hey, but that's a perfect segue though, man. You know, and trying to keep Florida State fans calm. You got, you know, I put a post out there after the Miami loss to where, you know, as great as Bobby Bowden was, he left a lot of championships on the field crumbling against Miami. You just said it, you know, not having a kicking game. So, I mean, you know, losing by being up 20, I mean, you got to win that game. I mean, being on the hot seat, we talked about, you have to win that game. But
Yes.
being a historian, I mean, Bobby used to get dragged through the mud after those losses because, you know, like you said, no playoff system. You lose that game, you out.
Yeah.
You know, and that was
Yeah.
the game that normally bumped us. So, you know, Florida State fans, just stay calm. And I'm not saying Willie Taggart is Bobby Bowden. I'm not being blasphemous.
Yeah, we ain't gonna take it there yet. Man, let them win a couple more games first before we take it there.
Right. Yeah. So how you like the scheme, man? How you like this lethal simplicity so far?
You know, I'm trying to get used to it, man. You know, but the way that we're playing now is the way that everybody's playing. You know, everybody's playing fast. That's the cool new hip thing to do. Get as many plays in as you can. But my thing is being able to execute fast. Anybody can run a lot of plays, but if you're not executing those plays, you go 3 and out. Your defense just got off the field a minute ago. Now they're right back out there. You know what I mean? So I think you got to be smart when you do that. Like when you got a 20-point lead, it might not be as advantageous to be trying to go super warp speed. Let's slow it down a little bit. But I think, you know, it's what the kids like these days, man. They want to be in high-powered offense. They want to be in fast-paced offense. And so, I mean, it is ever since Oregon came in with Chip Kelly, they started doing that. Now everybody does it. So it kind of is what it is. I don't care either way. I just want to see points on the board.
But that's crazy because Chip Kelly, last I checked, he hasn't won a championship.
Right.
Anywhere.
Right. Right.
So why would we fashion our team based upon what he started at Oregon?
Right.
West Coast.
Right, man. Pro football, college football, high school football, it's copycat. People see one thing that works and coaches gravitate to it and say, I want to spend time with that guy. I want to learn what he's doing.
Okay.
This is next level stuff. So they're always trying to find the next thing, you know? So like you said, they found that. He never won it. It still's not winning it now. I mean, it's just not. Alabama doesn't play that way. You know, Georgia doesn't play that way, you know? So I think it's like the flavor of the month type deal. It's cool now, but I think eventually it'll get back to more conventional. Yeah. Let's get in the huddle. Let's call a play. Let's go play.
Do you think teams will start to transition back to real tough, strong defense, considering that the defensive side of the ball has been hampered with these new rules that's in place? Do you think that coaches will take a little bit more time in finding that athlete that fits in his system that's going to be a lockdown? Because when's the last lockdown corner we had?
Well, like you made the point yourself. The rules want points. Points being scored, touchdowns being scored, get people in front of the TV, gets people in the stands. Nobody wants to go to the stadium and watch a game 6-3.
Right.
Nobody wants to see that. So all the rules are gravitated toward producing more offense.
Right.
So now that lockdown corner, who might have been a lockdown corner 2 years ago, is the average guy.
Right.
I can't touch him past 5 yards. I mean, when you press somebody, you're literally 1 yard away from him. You don't have to put hands on him.
Right.
You don't have to touch him. That's just like the game's changed. Everything is catered to offense. And I'm an offensive guy. Right. You know, I mean, I would love to have all the rules that they have. I mean, you don't have to be concerned about going across the middle. And they can't hit you anymore. You know what I mean? It's like they can lay you down. You know what I mean? It's, back when I played, they was going at your neck. You know what I mean? I mean, not only in games, in practice. Right. You know what I mean? I'm out there, Devin Bush, Harold Battles, those guys would put you down, man. They were like, somebody come get him. You know what I mean? He's down. But it's not that.
So who's the best quarterback that you face?
Oh, man, for me, you know, I can't really say because all my best corners were on my team.
Well, including who's on your team? included.
Man, Corey Fuller was a monster, man.
Yeah.
Corey Fuller, he was a monster, man. And he got overshadowed a lot by Lil Bud, Cliff Abraham. We used to call him Lil Bud.
Yeah.
And of course Saul was the man, but man, Corey Fuller was a monster, man. He was physical, he was strong, and I learned a hell of a lot from him. You know what I mean? Just, he was going to be a senior when I was going into my sophomore year, and he was coming off an ACL. So in the summertime, man, he would come get me and EG, and he'd take us out to the field and just beat us up. We just do one-on-ones. He just beat us up, and it got to the point where, man, we just be hiding from him. And he just pull in the bird, get out the car, just start yelling our name, man. We be in the room like, nah, not today. But he made us so much better, man. He was outstanding, man. Literally, really outstanding, man.
That's Florida State. That's Florida State what he's talking about. That's what Sean was talking about in the last episode. You walk by Kansas room, you got to wrestle.
Yeah.
You go by somebody's room because they all stay together.
Yeah.
That's a
right.
family.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And I think Bert was huge, man. I don't know how they do it nowadays, but everybody's all over the place. Like, how you can't build camaraderie like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all at the dorm. No matter what you was going through, you can go next door or go to whoever's room, chill out, man, and, talk to your brothers and that type of stuff, man. It builds something. You know what I mean? Opposed to I'm just seeing you for 2 hours at practice, an hour in a meeting. Nah, dog, we live together. You know what I'm saying? We're constantly together. And it's for me, it's hard for me to understand how they do it nowadays, man.
Right. I think that's where Jimbo had it right, with the facilities. I think in the last rankings, we got the 12th ranked facilities. Obviously, Oregon's number 1.
Yeah.
Texas A&M is like number 2 or 3 to that effect.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Clemson is number 2. But all of those schools are at the top, 8 and above, they have an all football facility, which, they just approved for us $60 million. And, something, Sadat, you're big on. Coach Taggart put up $1 million of his own money towards this thing to get it done. Yeah, so I think, getting that done, if he can see it through and get to that point, right, that'd be huge because now you got Burt Reynolds on steroids again, in this case, football law facility, because now they're in the stadium. So this, they're in the stadium, so you have classes going on and football all meshed. So as they're trying to go over schemes, you hear English class. That's kind of tough for them to really keep that cohesiveness going on there. But I want to throw back for you, man. You talked about Boucher and those guys. I mean, at one time, for the Florida State fans that don't know, would have been, and correct me if I'm wrong, Randy Moss, yourself, Peter Ward, Lavernius Coles, all of that would have been the receiving corps.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, we're all there together.
That's stupid.
We're all there together.
Now imagine that with those rules that you got now. Oh. Jesus Christ. Shit, I don't think we lose a game.
No, man. And like having all of that talent, it works 2 ways. You know what I mean? Because now every day you go to practice, you understand I can't take a day off, a practice off, a play off. Because the guy behind me is just as good. In most cases, he may be better.
Right.
You're just older. You understand more. You know what I mean? Right. And that competitiveness is what made us great. Like, you just weren't handed anything. I tell my son the story. I got to Florida State, I'm a freshman, and I was highly recruited and all that. They didn't have stars back then, but, if you went to Florida State, you was that guy. So I'm in practice. We're doing one-on-ones. And Seesaw, Corey Sawyer's out there. So I go out there, and I'm getting my round. I'm going to go against Corey. So he sees me line up. He was like, nah, get me somebody else, bro. He ain't earned the right to go against me. Like, get him out of there.
Seesaw,
That's all. But it's real, though.
Right.
You have to earn everything, even a practice rep. You had to earn it. And I think nowadays, kids feel a little bit more entitled to actually not even talking about a practice rep, but being in the game, getting in the game.
You know, there's two things. One, Stephen Smith asked the question about the type of offense that we're running now, the no huddle type offense. And remember back when you were there in '93, your freshman year, Tony Ward, Florida State ran that fast break offense. So what's your viewpoint on running an offense where you actually get in the huddle, you can calm everybody down, versus running a fast break type offense that we're running today? Do you think there's any issues with that?
I do. I mean, we did do the fast break stuff, and we did a bunch of no huddle, but we also huddled it. Because it's important, like you said, when you're in the crucial stage of the game, if you have things and say, hey, we got to get this. You know, when it's 3rd and 1, hey, guys, we're going to go on 2 here. We got to have it. I think that type of communication is necessary. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes when a lot of the offenses that I see now in college football, they're just going fast for the sake of going fast. Like, there's really, like, let's just go as fast as we can. But why? You know what I'm saying? There are some situations where you need to call a timeout. You need to huddle. You need to look in your lineman's face. You need to look in your receiver's face. Hey, I need to play here. So, I mean, you look at UCF today. They go lightning fast. They get into a situation where they're 4th and 1. The coach calls a timeout. They come out. They do a muddle huddle. They huddle. Boom, they get the 4th down. The kid breaks it 70 yards. Changes the whole complexion of the game. You know, so I think there is a place for huddling. I think it's important. It is important. But I think going fast is cool, but not just going fast for the sake of going fast.
Yeah.
Kurt, I got one question, man. I got one question. And, you know, you were there. You came in that 91 class, right? I'm sorry,
93.
I came in the 91 class. So I was gone when this supposedly happened.
Oh, I was there.
My class
I was in the gym.
My class brought in the Leach Center. Okay?
Yeah.
The 1991 class was the first class to play in the Leach Center. Then by the time y'all class came in there, we had already ran that thing to the ground. But nevertheless, here's my question. Here's my question. So, and I heard this after the fact. So, there's a story that Randy Moss came in the gym. Yeah, tell me the Randy Moss story. Tell me the story.
I mean, which one? There's so many, man. You know, because, you know, him and Peter Ward, they came in together.
Okay.
And they both thought that they could hoop. All right, but me and EG came in together, and we both could hoop.
Yeah, y'all
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all can hoop. Y'all can hoop.
Yeah, so, EG was strong.
So, you know, there was a couple times we had to spank them, but it was so many random Moss stories, man. You going to have to tell me which one you're talking about.
I'll give it to you.
Taking off the shoes, dog.
I don't remember that.
Tell the story,
I'll give it to you. So, Randy came in the gym. This was over the summer. Y'all doing workouts and stuff. Randy came in the gym, and this game I took your spot, Sadat. I was keeping score. Because, you know, we had the scoreboard.
Right.
I worked in the gym. Like, that wasn't my spot. Like, I was on the floor playing ball. Okay. Don't front, dog.
You wanted to make sure that
go. Listen, I was hooping. Go on.
Hey, listen. So Randy comes in the gym. Everybody gets their team, so forth and so on. And the first play of the game, the tip-off, he, you know, gives you a little in and out and dunks, right? He goes to the sideline, takes off his shoes, and leaves the gym. Okay? 2 days later, you know, because we're there every day.
Right, every day.
Second, third play of this game, because y'all joined already, you hit him with a cross, you dunk, you go to the sideline, sit down, take off your shoes, and leave the gym.
Right. You know, Moss was my dude, man. And, you know, he was such a freak athlete, man. And then talking to him, he used to tell me about this white kid that he played with in high school. Yo, he's super nice. He's in Florida. He's this, that, and the other. Turns out being Jason Williams. So, you know, he had that background in basketball. He could really hoop. I think he played in USBL for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he played in USBL. Played with Darryl Dawkins. God bless his soul. He passed away a couple years back. But, you know, he went to Edmonds over here. And, yeah, Moss played in there like one summer, man. Played USBL. He could hoop, man. But he couldn't mess with me, dog. He couldn't mess with me.
Remember, man. Listen, Coop Coop used to fly in the gym. Well, all them cats used to fly in the gym back then. I mean, not to the level, but
we had some athletes, dude. You boy,
Wait a minute. Now, I used to fly too now. I couldn't shoot that well, but I could get up.
Yeah, you used to get up, Kurt. You used to get up.
I couldn't shoot that well though, which couldn't shoot that well. Didn't have a left. With a guy my size, that's never gonna work. Gotta have a left.
You know.
Yeah, but y'all used to cheat too.
Man, listen. Once we got there, if we lost, we wasn't getting off the court.
Cause y'all cheat.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm not losing. You know what I'm saying?
So Vernon Crawford, dog. Oh God, he used to come across and just. Yeah.
That's why I never played with them dudes. I only play with skillful dudes, man. If you go come in here and try to maul people, nah, dog, I'm gone, man. You know
that's
what
true.
I mean?
He's right.
But we had like Sean Hamlet that was on did the show with you last week. Ham Cahoop, you know. James Cozy, of course, E.G. Cahoop. I'm gonna tell you, Cahoop. I don't know if y'all remember Hank Grant played linebacker.
Yeah.
He was nice out of he went to Boca Ciega down in St. Pete. Real, he could hoop, man. He had some injuries. He never really got to play as much as he was going to play before he got hurt. But man, we was some dudes that could hoop, man.
You know who I was scared of on that court though, and I wasn't really scared of a lot of people. But when I saw him coming, I got the hell out of the way.
Who's
Lonnie Johnson.
Oh yeah, Lonnie could hoop. Lonnie was huge.
You gotta get out the way, dog.
Yeah,
you gotta get out the way. Or Big Vernon Crawford.
Yeah, VC, man. Like I said, all them dudes with them muscles, man, y'all ain't trying to play no real ball, man. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I remember Vernon would take you out the air.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't care.
No, and he'll laugh about it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
you know who was skillful? Huh? You know who was skillful and was big? DA.
Yeah.
Yes.
They played 5 sports and better than 5 sports in high school.
DA was an athlete, straight up, you know. And you see, I didn't realize until I got to college that guys could be that big and move like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was definitely special, man. Like athletic, definitely.
That's real, huh?
Yeah. Then Brooks used to come in, couldn't do so big, but he always got to be the point guard.
Did he?
I'm not on this.
I missed a lot of that when Brooks came in. Every once in a while I see him come in, but not much.
Yeah.
Right.
He was on the court hooping, bro. That's what he did. And if you're on the B court, listen.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I never even saw it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's another perfect segue though, man. We talked about all that. I mean, just listen to all that talent we just said, and we're just talking recreational basketball, right? Back to the Noles right now. And then I'm gonna cut out of here because it's it's Sunday and the fam is on me. So I gotta go get my fatherhood on. And then I'll let you two carry on. If you had to rank in say top 3 recruiting needs, this season's a wrap. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping Taggart keeps the bowl game intact. Because we got 3 games to win, and I'm trying to find 3 games. I can find 1 and a possible, but I don't know if we can go board like a spades hand and find 4 games.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't see it. But moving forward, 2019, what are the top 3 in order to, address this, and then this? In your opinion, or what you see?
I think anybody that watches Florida State and has watched Florida State over the last 3 or 4 seasons understands that our number 1 area of need is on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't really think there's too many high school kids that are out there that are going to come in and give us the type of help that we need right away for next season. So they may need to dip into the JUCO ranks and pick some kids that are ready-made to come in and do the job. But, I mean, every weekend I feel so sorry for Francois, man. This kid he's the toughest quarterback I've seen in my time watching football on any level. I mean, this kid takes a pounding basically on a weekly basis. He doesn't complain. He gets up. He goes to the next play, which tells a lot about his character, man. But I think offensive line number 1. I think number 2, secondary help. I mean, we're missing big corners.
Yeah.
I mean, watching the Miami game, third and goal down there in a crucial situation. They throw the fade route to Cager. He drops it. You know, Samuel gets up, he's happy, he's celebrating, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, he just dropped it. And if you go back and watch the tape, Cager immediately gets up.
He said,
looks to the sideline and says, "Run it again."
"Yeah,
Am I lying, Kurt? You saw it.
Yeah. He said, "Run it again."
You know what I'm saying? So I think we need a big corner, and then I think you always need pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are our main 3 areas you need. O-line being 1, big corner, secondary being 2, and then pass rush, getting another DN to play opposite of Burns if he doesn't go pro early, which he's having a phenomenal season. Yeah, he's most likely.
Yeah, I think you got to give us one. You got to give 1 more year, right, for him.
I think he's a junior. Yeah, I think he's a true junior.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I mean.
Oh well.
Oh, last question, and then I'm gonna get out here, man. Let you guys carry on, man. Brand Nolebians podcast. The hottest new thing: sports, entertainment, politics, and lifestyle. We're trying to do something different here for Florida State, man. To pay homage to the past and bridge it with the what's new going on right now. What do you think about the bag? The bag.
Man,
I said purse.
Man. I don't like the bag, man. I get all my Miami buddies, man. They on us hard, man. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm a fan of what it represents and get us the ball back. If the kids like it, then cool. But I didn't think it was. That cool, man. But maybe they do. So as long as they like it, that's the only thing that matters. But I'm not the biggest fan of the bag.
No doubt. Why, fellas, man? I'm gonna check out, man. Get on my family hood here and get it going. Thanks, Coop, for the love, man. Definitely welcome anytime. Please come back. And you guys carry the situation on, man, because I'm gonna check back in and I want to see some predictions moving forward. We got Wake Forest coming up. Once again, the ESPN got us at 73% chance of winning that game. That's fake news to me because
it's
a lot of. It's homecoming.
So, Kurt, before you go, I need you to highlight homecoming, and I need you to highlight and let folks know that's watching us right now. How do you find us? How do you subscribe? How do you follow?
Well, homecoming is going to be crazy this year. I like what, the black alumni is really taking the bull by his horns. Shouts out to Cherie, our frat brother Ali, Gennaro. We're doing something different this year, man. You got, after the game let me back up. Thursday, they're bringing the Extrav back. So that hasn't been there in a while. Friday, some good day parties. We're doing a pub crawl, so bouncing, basically bar hopping. So that's going to be cool on a party bus. That should be pretty live. And then, Saturday's a tailgate. And then we got the game. Then after, hey, man, the school and Taggart, those boys got Big Boy and T-Pain performing, Doke After Dark. That's going to be dope. You can go down on the field. Game starts at 3:30. So, you get to that concert and then go home and rest. Because we got the DJ Kid Capri coming to the moon, man. And, that's going to be a movie, bro.
Kid Capri, baby.
Yeah, legendary DJ from that perspective. So it's going to be crazy. And, it should be uplifting as well. I think the boys, in the city will be on fire, especially with Hurricane Michael that just came through. So, much respect to all the people that lost their homes, their lives. I just couldn't imagine waking up. One day I got a house, and the next day, I got nothing. A lot of people are here in Atlanta, displaced, so, I think that's going to be a lot of energy because of that, having going through 9/11, living in New York, and then once, the sports was able to bring that back together. So I think this is going to be that type of situation too. So it's going to be a little more energy there, and then dedicating the new BSU house, a multi-million-dollar facility, so that's great. That's going to be real live, man. And then finishing up with a banquet. And then for Brand Nolebians, you can check us out on www.brandnolebians.com. You can find us on Instagram @BrandNolebians. Twitter at Brand Nolebians. All your other social media outlets, we out there. And then subscribe to the YouTube channel at Brand Nolebians. Again, we just released our new intro for the show. So it's going to be dope, man. You can find us on your Android or iPhones on Podbean. So that's the audio podcast, and then also SoundCloud. So we're about to take this thing over, man, and keep it rolling from the rest of the season and beyond. We're picking up with basketball next after the season, and all things sports. We got some key elections coming up we're going to get into, in Florida and Georgia specifically. Stacey Abrams here, Andrew Gillum down there. Shouts out to FAMU. So, we got a lot, power pack stuff going on, man. So that's us, Brand Nolebians, baby. Sports, entertainment, politics, and lifestyle, baby. So,
And Kurt, website up?
We dropping this week. The grand launch is for homecoming. So we've been holding on to everything to give everybody the flavor for this week. So, big announcements every day this week. We dropping something. So it's gonna be dope, man. Yeah.
All right, my brother. Hey, kiss your kids for me. Tell the fam I said hello.
Yeah, man.
Be safe out there in them Georgia streets.
Yeah, bro. And you guys, man, get into it, man. Don't let them off the hook, Sadat. Don't let them off the hook.
Listen. This is Doc. This is Brand Nolebians. We ask those questions that make you feel uncomfortable, and he talked about that before. So let's get on.
All right, baby.
All right, baby.
All right,
fellas.
Hey, so we had a number of people come on, and they said they're watching. They asked questions. We didn't get a chance to go in any of their questions.
Okay.
Sidney Smith said he made a statement that he prefers JUCO transfers over. Grad transfers over JUCO players.
I don't have a preference either way. I think sometimes we take grad transfers. They've been in the system, not on the level that they're transferring to. I think a lot of times JUCO kids they feel like they're coming from a lower level because they might be a little bit more receptive because they don't have knowledge of what's been going on. If I've been at a college for 3 or 4 years and then I graduate, transfer to another college, has a totally different, set of terminology, or they do things differently, then I have that foundation and say, hey, when I was here, we did it this way. Mm-hmm. And that way it worked, and I'm not sure about this way. Mm-hmm. Whereas you have the JUCO transfer, he really doesn't know one way or the other. So he's buying in from the word go. Okay. So, but I don't foresee that being a huge problem. I just want somebody in there that's going to get the job done. Man.
Period.
Our quarterbacks are the last 2 years or so have been taking a pounding, and if you can't protect the quarterback, you just can't win.
You can't win.
No, you can't win.
In any system.
No.
And speaking of quarterbacks, we have James Blackman and DeAndre Francois. And a lot of people, they want to see James Blackman get in. They feel like it's a quarterback issue. And our coach said, Willie Taggart said after the last game, 2 games ago, that, listen, why would I put James Blackman in when the same thing would happen to him? Yeah. He would be back there getting mauled. Yeah. So the question is, well, I don't know if it's a question, but a thought is that DeAndre Francois is a junior, right? He's a redshirt junior, yes. 4th year in the program, yes. First year in this particular type of program or system. But DeAndre Francois has a good arm. Yes. He does. He's not much of a read option guy. No, he's not. He's not much of a runner at this stage, and I think that's post knee injury.
Yes.
But he's a good pro style, drop back, throw to that one receiver, yes, type guy. Yes. And how do you think that as a receiver, because that's what you played, right. That's where you got off. As a receiver, how does that affect your game? Whether it's blocking downfield, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, honestly feel like, from a receiver standpoint, if a receiver gets the ball early, he always goes the extra mile doing the smaller things. If you're not getting the ball, you're not as enthusiastic doing those smaller things. Like you said, getting downfield and making that extra block. Me, myself, I'm a Francois guy. I thought, the situation that Blackman was put in last year was unfair to him. Yeah. I mean, this guy's just 17 years old. Right. And now here's your job.
No spring.
Right. Right. No, that was not the plan, but he got forced into that. And I thought for the situation that he was in, he showed himself very well. Yeah. But I think that at this point, I think Francois is the guy. I just think that he's better prepared to deal with the things that are going on right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's just, to me, the kid's a warrior, man. He sits in there, he makes the throws. When he has time, there's not too many people on the college level that can deliver the ball like he can deliver the ball.
Yeah.
There was a couple, that touchdown pass that he threw to Gavin in the Miami game and threw one to Terry. Those balls are ropes, man. So I just think if we could just protect him, keep him upright, that a lot of good things happen, man.
Well, let's just say you can't protect him because we haven't.
No, we
haven't.
haven't.
We're mid-season, so if you can't protect him, do you think those screens that we do a lot of, that's what we need to do to get the ball out in a mismatch?
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't protect for 5-step drops and to run intermediate routes or deep routes, now the passing game becomes horizontal.
Right.
You have to get the ball out just because we just can't protect. Now, when you get in that situation, the other teams know that as well. So now they rally to stuff like that. That's why the lateral pass against Miami worked so well.
Yeah.
They said they can't protect long enough to throw the ball down the field.
Right.
So the minute they saw that ball go out to DJ, they were on it like white on rice and then boom over the top, which I thought that was bogus call, but I'm biased.
Terrible.
But I just think that you have to run quicker things. And when you run quicker things, the defense understands that, so they protect against the shorter routes.
Right. That's more pressure.
Yes.
Well, going forward into the Wake Forest game, do you have any predictions? Any thoughts on this game?
Listen, Wake Forest is a good team.
Okay.
They're a good team, a younger quarterback. I watched their game against Notre Dame. They hung around for a little while, and I saw a little bit of the game against Clemson last week, 2 weeks ago, and they just kind of obliterated. I mean, Clemson on another level than everybody right now in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to be prepared to go in and handle our business. I mean, they get after the quarterback, which has been our Achilles heel as we've talked about. So we definitely have to be prepared to go, man. They're not going to come in. I see us winning the game, obviously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I see us winning the game probably 27-17.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Do you think that our offensive, our running backs will get an opportunity to shine? Like, this is the game, finally?
Cam Akers is a special talent.
Yeah.
But I don't care how special you are. If you have to duck and dodge 4 or 5 guys just to get back to the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It all goes back to the offensive line. Bill Parcells said that teams should be built inside out. We get caught up in quarterbacks and receivers and running backs because those are the guys that score the touchdowns. But teams are built inside out. O-line, D-line. If you can control the line of scrimmage, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win the game. We haven't controlled the line of scrimmage in a long time. Even in the games that we won, Sanford, man, we gave up 4 or 5 sacks in that game. And if you remember, their number 1 defensive end got ejected for targeting,
Right.
and that kid was having a hell of a game.
Right.
So we have to some way get back to dominating the line of scrimmage. I think the offensive line coach there, Greg Fry, who was a teammate of mine at Florida State, I think he is starting to develop those guys. I think we saw that in the Miami game in the first half where they played pretty well. Didn't play so well in the second half. But, these kids, I think they're starting to get it. The Miami game, even though we lost, I took a lot of positives out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did too. And I told Kurt this, is that I feel like every game the team is showing something else. They're improving somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it may not be the same thing. Sometimes that offensive line takes a step. At other times, the defensive end and Burns starting to get more sacks takes a step. The next time, maybe it's Marvin Wilson getting some sacks. So I think the team is starting to buy into the system. But at the end of the day, what matters? You gotta win.
You gotta win. We're not in the moral victories at Florida State.
No, maybe down, in Gainesville, up in Gainesville, down in Miami. By the way, Miami, tough loss for y'all against Virginia. I do want to let you know that I don't care, and you deserve it. All the Miami fans that was calling me and texting me when y'all beat us off a BS call, but nevertheless, let me digress. I had to get that out because I saw Torrance Slaughter just checked in. So anyway, man, I appreciate you coming out, Cool. You're always an upstanding, stand-up type guy.
Anytime you need me, man, I'm here, man.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm already on y'all on Facebook. Now I'm gonna have to go on Twitter and follow.
Yeah.
Instagram, I'm on it, man. Anytime that I can support a brother of mine, man, I'm gonna do it. Going back to the good days at Florida State. So anytime you need me, man, I'm a phone call away, bro. Yeah.
Okay, no doubt. Hey, one more thing. The thing that you talked to me about earlier, the receiver camp.
Yes.
Can you tell the people what you're doing on those camps?
Yes, Nolebians Legends receiver camps, man. Started up with Florida State legends E.G. Green, also Kes McCorvey. We'll be in Orlando next year. We've been doing it for the last 2 years. Like I said, it's growing, man. It's really about to pop. We had 100 kids at our camp at Orlando 2 years, about another 50 or so last year. Actually, William Floyd's son came to the camp.
Okay.
So, man, it's really going down. Next summer, watch us on Facebook, Nole Legends, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Nole Legends, E.G. Green, Kes McCorvey, Andre Cooper, doing big things.
Some talent, and they're going to help y'all. BrandNolebians.com, check us out. We're about to go live. Listen, Wake Forest, watch out.
Trouble.
Brand Nolebians will be in the house, all right?